edition of LeadHers Showcase, we have an amazing guest who is following an offbeat career path. When I heard this, I was like, what? So, without much further ado, let's meet our guest today, Dr. Akriti Choksi. Hi, Dr. Akruti, how are you? And thanks for
Very
joining
good.
our show.
Thank you so much. This is a great opportunity.
So, who is Dr. Akriti Choksi? How would you like to be described to our viewers?
Honestly, Dr. Akriti Choksi is a very simple person who just, chose to follow her dreams and I think build her dreams based on her passion for the love of animals. And I'm extremely lucky and blessed to be able to be and do what I'm doing today. So yes, that's a very simple version.
So fabulous. So, what came first, your love for dentistry or your love for animals, in this case, horses?
Definitely animals. Definitely animals. Dentistry was something that my parents thought is an apt career for a woman because you're a doctor and you can, you don't have any emergencies. I mean, they were thinking from the best of their, understanding or knowledge about life at that time. So they said, okay, dental work is very good, and you can have like a nice personal life and professional life, and you can have a career as well. So that was that. But I think I got very I was very clear. I was very clear that this is not my calling. I definitely love animals a lot, and or children, or maybe something to do with psychology. I had loads of other plans, but this just happened.
Fabulous. So, how did you come to realize that equine dentistry was a thing and that it could be your profession?
So, so just to give a little background about myself, I am, a BDS first, and then like I pursued BDS as a normal dentist, a human dentist for a few years, a couple of years, and I'm also a Buddhist. I also chant. I follow Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism, and I think from the age of 18, since I followed Buddhism, I was always kind of open to the idea of you have to be passionate about what you do. You have to really be happy at what you do, and there's no such thing as impossible. So I think because of Buddhism, there was a clear understanding of there is no such thing as impossible. And I think after 2 years is when I really prayed to understand what is my true calling, and that's when I took up equine dentistry. And then came all the other stuff, like whether it be energy work with horses or people, or telepathic animal communication. So all of that was the chronology of where I am at.
So, in your journey itself to becoming an equine dental, technician, were there any challenges? So, what was your journey like?
Starts from my parents. I must say that they apart from Buddhism, I think my parents were very instrumental in encouraging me. So it's not like we had all the funds in the world, or whatever. It was very hard for me to like go there. So they kind of said, no, this is your dream. We're completely 100% supporting you. And my father's a big animal lover itself, so he doesn't believe that son or a daughter doesn't matter. For him, it's like whatever my children want to study, that's what they study, and that's totally fine. And so they sent me there. So struggle started from there. I went to New Zealand in the coldest winter and the harshest rain in 10 years. I hate the cold, I hate the rain, and I was there. I mean, so it was all little stuff. When I look back at it, at that time it seemed a lot, like oh my god, how am I going to deal with these massive horses? Because New Zealand horses are really big. Indian horses तो भी थोड़े छोटे होते हैं, like they're a little smaller. But it was very intimidating. Living alone for the first time, driving in a new country for the first time, not knowing Google and not having Google Maps at that time, all of that. So it was all challenging per se. But those were all good challenges. I think that was good. That just made me stronger, more kind of tougher to face whatever. But when I did come back to India, yes, I did face a lot of challenge, I would say, as a woman, because um, in New Zealand or in other countries, actually, that the equine world, the equine industry is a very, I would say, mostly a woman-oriented industry. So women are the human beings that work with the horses all over the world. But obviously in India, it's all a man. It's a man's world. So yes, definitely I've heard comments like, "Oh, you're a girl. Are you sure you want to do this? Why don't you just pack your bags and go back to New Zealand?" And I'm like, "No, I'm staying here." They're like, "Acha, so why don't you just do small animal dentistry? That will be more better for you because you're a girl." So those kind of remarks at that time would seem to be very, very snide remarks. Um, but then I just said, you know what? Watch me. It's okay. You can say what you want. You can do what you can think what you want. It's not going to stop me, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here, and I'm going to pursue my passion right here. So
No.
yes, it was a bit challenging, but now it's all put behind.
So, where are you working now? For our viewers, just tell them. Do you have to travel extensively within the country?
Yes, I do. People love that about my job. I unfortunately I'm not a great travel fan, but I do it happily for the horses. I've seen I think every nook and corner of India because of the horses. And yes, I do travel a lot. I work at all the race courses in the country, all the major race courses, riding schools, polo teams, you name it. Like Marwadi stud farms, other sort of different breeds stud farms. I also work in Sri Lanka. I'm trying for different places as well as we speak. So fingers crossed.
So you mentioned that in New Zealand it's quite a women-oriented career, but for us in India we feel horse race, polo, anything to do with horses especially is a very masculine sport. With a very few women who are part of the industry. So is it fair to say it's a male-dominated industry?
Absolutely. Absolutely male dominated. Yes. There are very few women in the industry, and we kind of really have each other's back. It's like we have like a few horse trainers that are women. We have a lot of horse riders that are coming in, who are kind of representing the country, or the newer generation coming in. Yes, lots and lots of girls, which is amazing. We have vets who are women, and in the equine industry, the horse industry, which is also very nice. And I think I have a complete woman bias here. I think because we are softer and gentler, horses are fight or flight. In the fight and flight, they're the flight animals. So the softer and gentler you are, the better it is for the horse. So I think most trainers actually did. When I started off my career, the veteran trainers always said that she knows what she's doing. She's a woman. She has a natural way with the horse. So I believe that we have that little bit of an edge over men. So horses are athletes. They're extremely expensive, and also in races, for example, they earn a lot of money. So it is actually very important for us to take care of their teeth, because their teeth are very different from other mammals per se, or our teeth. Their teeth are different because we have teeth that kind of stay the same height when the teeth erupt. Like when a child has the first molar coming in, for example, it will stay at the same height. But with horses, their teeth continuously grow. So they become longer and longer. So it's very important to kind of level them, to rasp them. It's called rasping. We have also other stuff that we do, in horses, whether it be extractions like people, whether it be, root canals at times, or fillings. So all that is there, but to a certain degree. But the main thing that we do is rasping of the teeth, which is to align their teeth so that the athlete is focusing on the sport and not the pain, or the roughness in the mouth, or the sharpness in the mouth. Secondly, also, the bit is in the horse's mouth. So when the jockey is sitting on the horse, that is the main line of communication, the from the mouth. So if the mouth is unhappy, then the horse is very, very unhappy. So for the horses, I think, just for the lay viewers, I would say that it's important to have a veterinary check. It's important to have the farriery done, which is that the horse shoeing that we call, and dentistry. Like these are the three basic things for a horse. To be able to have a horse as a pet, or as an athlete, or anything for that matter.
Interesting. The crown of being India's first equine dentist. Do you see other women following you? Is it a more open field than when you got started? Are you mentoring any more future Akrutis?
I really want more and more people to get into the field. At this point, there is I'm looking for ways for that to happen in a professional setting. Yes, in terms of I feel more and more women are also entering the equine industry, which is great. I think, like I said, we have a way better edge over men on this, because the softer and gentler that you are, the better you are with horses. Is just a natural thing. And not to say that men are not great; they're also equally good at their job. That's not where I'm coming from. But I think yes, a lot more women are coming into the field. I am looking at probably doing some classes and courses for vets that would be happy to learn. So very recently, for example, I had gone to the National Research Institute of for equines, and there I saw two young budding vets who, I said, come on, let's do this. Let's start, like, take my equipment. I'll let you do a little bit of dentistry. And so, they did the dentistry, and, so it's happening. I do also work with, many NGOs and stuff, where we probably collaborate at times with veterinary hospitals and stuff. And so their students would come down. So I've seen women not only doing dentistry, but I've also seen them doing farriery, which is a very, very hard job. But I remember the veterinary students just got on in it, and they did it full hands on. The girls, guys, everybody, like everyone was doing it. So it's great. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so you have successfully made a bold transition from human to equine dentistry. So I'm sure there was a lot of risk and uncertainty involved in making such a switch. So what would be your advice to others looking to switch careers midway?
Honestly, this, I think I get a lot from my understanding of my philosophy that I follow. I really feel that, at the end of the day, if you genuinely put in the hard work and the effort, I I don't think, if you have the right attitude, and if you have the right frame of mind to say, I'm not going to give up no matter what. Um, it's going to happen. Like, you just have to believe in yourself. It sounds very cliche, but I think that's the only thing that has kind of taken me so far, I feel. I think you can say that, yes, you can have a degree and you can have this and you can have that, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the grit, and if you don't have the professionalism, if you don't have the patience, if you don't have the way to communicate properly with your clients, if you don't feel excited about going to work, then that degree is not going to really matter. That's my thinking. Yes, obviously education is very important, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's all these other things that we don't even think of, or we don't teach at school. I think those are the things that will always give you an edge over other things in life, I feel.
Absolutely. So I agree with you. You mentioned grit, determination, professionalism, ability to communicate with clients, building up a relationship. So those are some of the characteristics of a successful professional. So those are absolutely key skills which are required when you are looking to switch your career midway. So I spot on. I totally agree with you.
I also, if we don't feel that, this is not impossible, this nothing is impossible. At the end of the day, I think this is what I've learned. Like, we all, I mean, I'm sure in the lockdown, a lot of us, about the law of attraction and manifestation, these are things that people use very, like, easily these days. But this is all really true. I truly, truly believe that if you really want to do something, don't let anything stop you, because the money will never come. The time will never come. The right time to make things happen, or, only if this and this doesn't happen in my life, and then I'll be okay, then I will try. I mean, if we just leave all these little excuses behind, then I'm sure that you can make the right time. You can make the right, even a bad decision can become a good decision, because you put that, honesty, integrity, and, sincerity into it. So I strongly feel that it is all you.
Absolutely, absolutely spot on. Thank you so much for emphasizing that honesty, sincerity, and integrity. Those are key skills, and only you can make it, as you mentioned. So I totally agree with you. So, Dr. Akruti, last but not the least, if you were to look back at your career, what would be the highlight of your career journey, and what lesson from that career would you want our audience to take away?
Lots of things. I think, for me, what is very, very important is all the snuggles and cuddles that I get from my horses. I think that's the best part of, my whole career. It just lights up my day, my world, my face. I just feel so happy. People tell me my face changes when I talk about horses. But it's true. I mean, genuinely, they're just amazing unicorns. I think they're just amazing, amazing animals to be with. But if I look at my overall, I think it's just that. Like, I think that if you genuinely believe in something, don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't do it, because they're wrong. You can. And I think women in general, I think we have an extra I think power, whatever that you call it. I mean, once we are determined to do something, we're just determined. Like, nobody can take it away from us. So I think we just have that. We have it internally, and we just need to tap into that. We just need to say that, hey, I'm not going to let anything else defeat me on the outside. I'm going to win. That's it. So yes, I think that is what I have seen over. And I think when you conduct yourself in a certain manner, I think, as a woman, I used to always feel that there was a very negative sort of approach of, oh, just because I'm a woman, I have to work harder, I have to prove myself. But now I've taken this as that's changed over the years, because, I work in a man's world. Most of my friends are men. Or, then I've realized that when you conduct yourself in a certain way, you will be looked at as a professional. You will be looked on with respect. They will take you as an equal, because there's no question in your mind, because you are an equal. That's it. So, and there's no two ways about it. So I feel like these are things that I've learned over the years. And I think that it's just that, like, I think for me, I've been able to win the trust of the man holding the horse, which is called a size, to the owner who owns probably, 50 odd horses at times. So it's the same. You have to win over their trust with honesty and integrity, and your sincerity. That's it. At the end of the day, nothing else will really. There's no funda. There's no quick fix to anything. But I think years and years of just showing up, I think that's important.
Very important message you've given us, that all these biases, they may be outside us, but also they should not be a limiting factor to hold us back from what we want to achieve. So that's something very important you mentioned. So there should be no limiting factor in our own head. So if you want to achieve anything, we can, actually achieve. So thank you for that. And who better than you, who has who's doing this fabulous job in a very male oriented industry, but yet you mentioned that you feel like an equal because everybody treats you like a professional. So when you conduct yourself professionally, when you know your boundary, and you are doing your work professionally, then obviously there is no question of being any mistreatment or any biases. So you are basically an equal. So, Dr. Akruti, thank you so much for spending time with me today on my show. I have learned a lot about you and your profession, and it actually opened up my own knowledge about equine dentistry. And I'm sure it is going to inspire a few more professionals to join this offbeat career path. May you achieve success in your career. All the best from LeadHers. Thank you so much once again.
Oh, I think you guys are doing something so fascinating and so amazing. I've gone through, your thing on Facebook, and it's, I think, amazing. And I'm really, really, I think it's a huge opportunity for me to be on here. And I'm so happy to be a part of this. Thank you. I'm really humbled. Thank you.
Thank you so much.